Hi, well, you will have heard of the sad case of the Bank of America intern who was found dead after work in London this week. I've done a significant number of media interviews about this subject, looking at why it could potentially have happened and how we can stop this happening again. But I wanted to do a special blog focused for leaders of all organisations about the core dangers of too many hours work, and also particularly the dangers for interns. So here are some really key points that I think you need to know about. First of all, if you work your people more than about 70 hours a week, or they get probably less than 4 hours sleep on 3 or 4 nights, you are going to be getting work out of them that is probably only about 20 to 25% quality level. You are going to be putting their health at risk, and as a result you are going to be putting what you deliver to your customers at risk and the reputation of your organization at risk. We know that for people in safety critical jobs like airline pilots, train drivers, people in hospitals, etc. around the world, there are upper limits that are around those levels beyond which they are not allowed to work by law. That is because the facts are irrefutable. If you go beyond that point, people become so tired they cannot perform properly, and it's a danger to their health. Even the military does not often take people past those levels, and that's even for people who are trained to operate in extremely challenging environments. Secondly, if we look at the challenges around interns, many organisations, and in this case it was a bank, but many organisations have interns, and often they work hard. The reason they work hard is that if an intern wants to get a job, they think the only way that they can potentially get a job with that organisation is working as much as possible. Don't forget that everybody else working around them has the job, and it's the job that they want. They have set their minds and their hearts on having this job. And that's where the problem comes in. The problem is that for some people, particularly young men, who are not aware of their own physical limitations, their mental determination to secure this job can push them past the point at which it is seriously damaging their health and they start suffering from exhaustion. Sadly, in the UK we saw an example of that with the British Army a few weeks ago, where 2 people who wanted to join the British Reserve Special Forces died in a mountainous part of the UK trying to pass the selection procedure. Because they were so determined to succeed, they pushed themselves past their physical limits. What is the lesson for us in organisations? The lesson is quite clear. If we have interns, particularly young men, who are operating within a competitive environment in our organisations and they want desperately to get the job, it is the responsibility of the team leader and the more experienced people around them to identify the signs of tiredness, to note the hours that these people have been working, and even if these people offer to stay in the office, even if they offer to do more work, it is your responsibility to say, no, it is time you went home. That is a critical leadership responsibility that you have as a leader, and to a degree as a colleague of a young person. The organisation has a legal duty of care and a moral duty of care for these young people. So I would urge all of you who are experienced leaders in organisations, in terms of 1, all of your staff, to be aware if they are working long hours, because in the majority of cases this is not because they have to, but because there are either insufficient resources that are flexible, that the project has not been planned properly or that things have been left to the last minute, not that they have to work these hours. And if you have interims in your organisation, particularly if they are extremely ambitious young men, there falls upon you as a more experienced person a responsibility to make sure they don't push themselves too far. Hopefully, with your interns, if you treat them right, even if you don't offer them a job, they will be an ambassador for your organisation to say that yours is a great organisation to join. So we do have a responsibility for these young people, which all of us must live up to.